I did the one thing I needed to remember to do. To the folks that are on with us, thank you so much. This webinar is the virtual version of the neighborhood meeting for the repaving of what we're lately calling the seasonal streets, right? We have spring, autumn, and Summerfield. It's basically a standard repaving project, but we like to give folks an idea of the scope, who to contact. There's always questions about projects, especially when they're happening directly in front of somebody's house. I, for the record, am Cass Duffy. I am the BA, the borough administrator in Collingswood. This is Tim. He's our engineer. I'm going to let him handle the project scope, and then we'll hit on a couple things about the project, and then we'll take some questions if you guys have any. Okay, take it away.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So generally, the project is just the milling of the asphalt surface course in the roadway and a repaving over top of that. We're replacing a concrete curb and sidewalk at the corners for the curb ramps. There may be one or two driveway aprons that will be done as part of the project, but it's not too much concrete work. We have one or two trees that are impacted. If you're a resident who has a tree removal, Bobby Hastings should have reached out to you already. So it's pretty short and sweet this time around. I think notifications went out for tree removals from the contractor maybe today. So work might be scheduled to start as soon as tomorrow or Wednesday for that, and they're looking to come and do concrete work right behind that. So hopefully we're in and out of the street within a couple weeks. Trash and recycling pickup will be done as normal. Typically, they'll schedule that maybe the first pickup of the day, so we can get them in and out without messing around with the construction schedule. We will ask you to park off of the street. I mean, these are relatively short blocks. So for the Summerfield folks, I think you can park behind. But for spring and autumn, if you don't mind just parking at the end of the block, you'll be able to come back to the block at the end of the day. Usually they're done by 4 o'clock. If you have your driveway apron replaced, we do ask you to stay off of that between 3 and 5 days to let that cure. But again, I don't think that impacts really anyone on this project. Short of that, as township or borough engineer, Remington and Vernick will have a field inspector on site, so he'll have a yellow vest with an RVE on the back. If you have questions, you can reach out to him. Otherwise, Cass will, I think, post my contact information. You can give me a call directly. If there's an emergency, we'll make sure to get everyone in and out. It shouldn't be any issue. If you're, for some reason, you didn't get your car off the street, we'll be sure to reach out and help you out to get that moved accordingly. So I think that's the short and long of it, Cass.
I do too.
Happy to answer any questions.
We're just paving some streets. It's a big project for you guys, but as far as projects go, it's on the smaller end, and we hope it goes smoothly. It looks like we have 3 folks on, and we have 1 question, and I will try to multitask and get me and Tim's information in the chat. It's also online. It probably was in the letter you got. There's 1,000 ways to get a hold of us. I will make this note very quickly. If you have an issue, and all kinds of things happen during a project that residents have questions about, please make sure you reach out to either the Remington and Vernick contact on site, myself, Tim. The contractor and their workers are not always, they're there working, but don't always necessarily have the most up-to-date or correct information about a change or information. So if you have a question, you want to get, the correct answer, don't hesitate to reach out to one of us, a project lead, so we can figure out what's going on.
Cass, with Phil's question there, if we don't have a parking pass and our driveway is impacted, do we obtain a temporary parking pass? Typically, we'll notify the police department of the work that's ongoing, and they'll just stay out of your hair for those couple of days that you're impacted. So I don't think there's any need for a temporary pass at this point.
Yeah, police will just be aware, so no extra work for you guys. Phil, your hand is still up. I don't know if you want to, if that was it, or if you have another question, you want to let us know. I can, oh, no, hands down. I think they're scheduled to start. I know our letters went out. Did they like next week, right? Do we know which
Well,
street
no,
they're
I mean,
starting?
it might be as early as Wednesday, if not, see some activity tomorrow. I know they're out there today doing some markouts and some layout. But I do think by the end of the week, we probably have concrete work, started, and we might be paving as early as next week.
Okay,
I think it's gonna move pretty quick.
great. Okay, here. Anything else? I'm gonna drop this in the chat for you guys. And I will say that if there are no other questions, that you three have officially been appointed as neighborhood ambassadors. Feel free to share the information about the project with your neighbors. And we're getting started. We're working at light speed for government here, folks. So we'll get started soon. Hopefully it'll be a pretty calm project. But if you have any other we have another question. Matthew's on West Summerfield. Yeah, he missed the first 5 minutes. We're just repaving your street. That's basically the long and short of it. Would you like to feel free to answer? There's also project information online, but it's effectively a repaving happening in the next few weeks. It's just like a milling. You'll have a nice smooth street soon. Very little impact on trees, curbs, and driveway aprons. So pretty simplistic. Hope that answers your question. Okay, I lowered all hands. So going once, going twice. If there's another question, feel free to raise your hand. We will not disappear. Oh.
So, as far as the days to vacate, the contractor will notify you by a door hanger when activities will happen. So that's usually the tree removal. There's none on Summerfield, so it's probably why you haven't got notification on that yet. The concrete work, again, I don't think there's too much on Summerfield there. Maybe one. It's not even on at Haddon, so I don't really think there's any at all concrete work on Summerfield. So it'll just be notification for the milling operations and the paving. So you'll get that from the contractor at least 48 hours in advance of the work.
And then Matt, I just allowed you to talk just in case you had any follow-ups. You don't have to.
No, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. I just want to know, we work from home, so some days we're parked on the street, so they'll let us know. It'll be like vacate like 2 days. How many days will we be vacating?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
How many days will we need to vacate? Just like 1 day?
Oh, just just Summerfield, just the work hours. So they'll start probably 7 a.m., probably done by 4 on each work day. You'll be able to get back into your properties at the end of the day. When paving's done, we ask you to stay off the fresh asphalt for an hour, so just let it cool.
Okay, that's easy. Awesome. All right, appreciate it. Thanks so much.
No
Of
problem.
course. Thanks for attending. Anyone else? Okay, we'll be around. It'll go smoothly, but if it doesn't, we're here. Let us know if anything pops up. We certainly are used to taking those sorts of questions and concerns for projects like this. Thank you for attending. It's helpful when folks know what's happening and they hear it directly from us. But if you need any other information, feel free to reach out, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.